Welcome, welcome, welcome to Walking the Path. My name is John Jacob Mubarak, and I'm so grateful to be here with you today and to share with you a little bit about rythmia and a little bit about being worthy. So, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad you all are here. Brother Jake, great to see you. Wow, Reverend Julie, Soul Releaser, welcome, welcome. So grateful. So, a really brief little bit about rythmia. I always like to start with rythmia to let you know what's going on here every week. It's truly amazing. What happens each week is a soul merger. People see some aspect of themselves that they need to unlearn, something that they need to unbecome. They see some aspect of what they became and something that they need to let go of. And in doing that, they come back to a place of wholeness. They merge with their soul, see the truth of who they are, see that they were never separate from it to begin with. It was just an appearance of being separate. And from that place of remembered unity, healing occurs, healing of the heart, forgiveness. This is what happens week in and week out. It's amazing. So take a look at Rythmia. If you haven't looked at the website, take a look and see if this might be something that calls to you. If your soul is calling to remember its wholeness, to see life as full of joy and wonder and awe, you might want to come down and check out Rythmia. Okay, now let me tell you about being worthy. Are you worthy? What do you deserve? What do you want? What do you need? What do you desire? Tennessee Williams once said that that desire is like an overcoat that's 10 times too big. Desire is like an overcoat that's 10 times too big. I love that saying, right? And I used to really think that's what desire was, right? Because when I would be lost in compulsive behavior, I felt like something really huge had enveloped me, that I had no control. I couldn't even find my way out of it, right? Because I was just lost in the folds of this giant overcoat, this desire, this thing that came on from the outside, right? Well, that's one aspect of desire. That was something that I really thought that's what desire was. But that really isn't ours, right? That's something that we accept from the outside. We pick up these external desires, these overcoats, from our family, from our friends, from our religious organizations, from our government, from our communities. We accept them freely, and most especially from the highly evolved and highly refined media marketing data collecting complex that seems to know, what titillates us before we do, right? But there's another aspect of desire, a true and good desire. That's something that you have it. I know I've had it. I've heard that. People call it the still small voice. It's neither still nor small. It's been yelling at us the whole time. I was just ignoring it for a long time, right? So there's something that we know. You know what you've always wanted to do. You know what calls to your heart. You know that thing that ever since you were little, there was something in you that really loved this idea. But we tend to dismiss those things because we get lost in the how, right? But the truth is, those things that you like just because you like them, those things that you like, even though they don't make sense why you like them, it's kind of like I like chocolate because I like chocolate, right? I like Rocky Road because I like Rocky Road. Why? Because I like it. I don't know. I just like it. I mean, I could talk about the marshmallows and all that stuff, but I don't know. I just like it. I do. There's stuff that you just like. That's a true and good desire of God. That's a true and good desire that's been encoded within us from time immemorial, outside of time. These true and good desires are our soul's desiring. And have we been answering the call of our soul? That's the question. Have we been answering the call of our soul? Typically, when I'm not hearing or giving obedience to that voice of intuition that's always speaking to me because I'm filled with doubt or fear or worry, when I'm acting out of alignment with this voice, things feel off. Why do I not hear the call and act? That's been the question. Why I hear it. Why am I not hearing the call and acting? It usually comes back to a sense of not being worthy. Am I worthy? Am I enough? Can I do it? Is it possible? That's not me. All that doubt, all that self-criticism, self-recrimination. The truth is, that we're worthy, right? We can tell each other that all we want until we embody that truth, that we actually do deserve all the good things that are happening to us. In fact, by right of consciousness, we deserve. This is the truth. By the fact that we exist at all, we deserve. You deserve. By fact that you exist, by fact that you have a self-reflexive consciousness, you can look inward and think about yourself. Think about what you're thinking about. Think about what you're experiencing. Think about what you're feeling. That self-reflexive quality is consciousness. And by right of consciousness, by right of your existence and my existence, we deserve, because we are an expression of the whole. We not only deserve, it's our right. It's our birthright. It's our birthright. You were not born without a purpose. You were not born without a mission. You were not born for no reason. You were not born without faith. We have a derecho de nacimiento. We have a birthright. And that birthright is to accept our truth, that we're one with the source of all of life. We're one. We can't be separate from this field of goodness, from this field of love, from this field of abundance, from this unified field. Quantum physics talks to us about the unified field. We can't be separate from that, from which we emerged. We came from that field. We are one with that field. And as we emerge from it, we contain all of the qualities and quantities of it. So how do we accept our good? How do we accept that really nothing is being withheld? I had a client this morning asking me, like, why? Why is all this crap happening? Why can't I just feel the love and the beauty and the joy? And why do I have to feel all this other stuff? Why? It's in here, right? Experience is happening. Experience is happening to us. It's happening for us. It's happening through us. It's happening by us. It's happening through us, right? Experience is happening. External stimuli occurs. And the only power that we have, Viktor Frankl so rightly notes, the only power that we have is our ability to respond to that external stimuli. It works sort of like a river. I love this example. I want to acknowledge Michael Singer from a lecture series that he gave on living a life of surrender. He has a beautiful explanation of samskara, of the harm, of the trauma, of our core woundings, that life is like a river, right? Flowing experience is like the flowing river. And it's this clear channel. We are that channel, right? Life is flowing through us. Experience is happening through us. And we go through life and something happens. We go, ooh, I like that. I'd like more of that. Ooh, that I don't like. I'd like less of that. You know, he uses the example of snake. I see a snake. Ah, snake bad. And then you're walking down the street and you've got the impression of snake in your mind and you see a rope. Ah, rope, snake, similar. Ah, right? Not the same, but triggers the same reaction. And then you see a stick, rope, snake. Ah, bad. Less rope, less stick, less snake. But then you're over here and a butterfly lands on you and you go, oh, butterfly, nice. I'd like more butterfly. More butterfly, less snake. This was Michael Singer's example, which I really liked. So we go through, and every time we have this experience of trauma, something bad happens. It's like putting a rock in the riverbed. What happens if you put a boulder in the middle of the river? The water hits it, goes around it, it splashes. There's a disturbance in the flow. There might be an eddy that's caused over here. There might be a rapid over here. But the more rocks we get in the river, the more disturbances. Life's going to flow. Life's flowing. The river's flowing around all the stuff. But our traumas, our stories, our core woundings, not that they're unimportant, not that they're not significant, they're happening for a reason. We get to go through and remove them. This is the process of healing. This is the process of up-leveling. This is the process of realizing that we actually are worthy of all the good, that there's nothing wrong. It's just life is happening and it's hitting this thing that happened to me that I have a story about and it's causing a reaction. So now we get to be self-reflexive. We get to go, oh, every time this happens, I get this reaction. I wonder what that is. Let's get curious about it. Let's examine it. We can pick that rock up out of the riverbed and look at it. Oh yeah. Guess what? I don't need that rock anymore. And now, if there were 20 rocks in the riverbed and now there are 18, there's a little less disturbance. We can just keep taking these rocks, these core woundings, these traumas out and start to examine them and see I don't need to react to this anymore. That program is no longer valid. This is the process of stepping into a deeper realization that by right of consciousness, all good things flow to us. And the only thing that's hindering the right flow of goodness in, through, and as us is our own mental pollution. Our own fear, doubt, worry, lack, limitation, stories of what happened and how we didn't get over and how I didn't choose higher and how this happened and how, oh, I'm clear. All of that stuff, it's really important. It's really important to you and to me, the stuff that we went through, but it doesn't mean anything, right? And we're giving it so much value, so much power. We're giving it the power to disrupt the flow of goodness in our lives. So we have to get to a point where we're really sick and tired of not accepting our good. We have to get to a point where I'm really sick and tired of this disturbance happening over and over again. And we finally ask, how do I stop this habitual pattern? How do I unwind this tightly wound pattern? Right? Well, here's how we do it. The secret to all of life next week. No. You're like, no, wait. How do we unwind the pattern? Acceptance. How do we unwind the pattern? Awareness. How do we unwind the pattern? Forgiveness. How do we unwind the pattern? Unlearning. We have to unlearn, we have to unbecome, we have to work on our forgiveness, and we get to bring our awareness, our acceptance to it. Like, should I be bitching at the rock because it's causing a disturbance in the flow? Or should I notice that there's a disturbance and remove the rock? Like, look at that rock. It's causing a disturbance. The rock. The water's going on the rock and the rock and the water. Or, oh, that rock's been causing it. I wonder what's up with that rock. Let me look at it. Oh, yeah, I remember that rock. I wonder how that got there. I don't even need to know how it got there. I'm just going to take it out of the river. I'm going to put it over here. Really nice rock. Really beautiful. I love that rock. It's really good. It was really good for a long time, but it's just going to go on the river bank now instead of in the river. Right? This is our acceptance that nothing is wrong. Our acceptance that everything is unfolding in divine perfection. Our acceptance that everything is happening for us, not to us. Because life is just happening. Life is just, it's just an onslaught of experience. It's like a rush, right? So often we go into life like, oh, fuck. But what if we went into life? It's like letting somebody tickle your foot. Right? This is the experience of life. It's a rush of sensation. Sometimes it's uncomfortable, but if we just like go for it, it's really actually good. Oh, brother. So life is happening. It took a long time for this to happen. It took a lot. Like a lot of stuff has had to happen just the way that it did. Everything happening just the way that it happened for us to experience what we're experiencing right now. It's actually a miracle. I mean, when we really think about it, that we're here at all, that we exist at all. 400 trillion to 1. The odds of you and I being here right now are 400 trillion to 1. You and I standing here, for that sperm and that egg to meet, 400 trillion to 1. That means you beat, just by right of existence, you beat 400 trillion to 400 trillion to 1 odds. Odds of winning the lottery are 101 in 175 million. Odds of becoming president? Well, anyone can do that. Brother Jake, for us, not to us. Yes, it's happening for us. It's happening for us, not to us. Something is seeking to emerge. And sometimes my beautiful teacher, Reverend Michael, says we're pushed by pain or we're pulled by a vision. Sometimes we have to be pushed by pain. Sometimes we have to get really tired of that sanskara. Sometimes we have to get really tired of the flow of life and experience hitting that rock over and over again until it's like, I'm tired of that experience. I'd like a different one. I need some help on how to get out of that. What do? We go to meditation. We go to prayer. We go to retreats. We find a spiritual practitioner. We find a therapist. We find someone that we can be ourselves and vulnerable and open with, who holds the space for the truth of us. Not someone who sees us as damaged, not someone who sees us as needing help, but someone who sees the wholeness in us. That's the consciousness that heals. When you can talk to somebody who sees you as whole, no matter what the appearances are, that's someone you want to talk to. That's someone that's going to help you, be of service to you, not help you, because if they're helping you, they have something that you don't. If they're of service to you, then they see the wholeness in you, they see the wholeness in them, and they allow that to be the truth. The wholeness in me sees the wholeness in you. So, recap. Well, we've been talking for a minute here. Oh, not even that long. We're good. We're doing good. So, how is it? How is it that we are just by right of consciousness that we deserve? How is it that simply because we exist, we deserve all the good that there is? And why is it that that stuff is being blocked from us? Well, it's our own samskara. It's our own um, experience of life that has a story of trauma. Remember, trauma isn't what happened. Trauma is the story that we told ourselves about what happened. Hey, Changis, love you, brother. Jason, love you, brother. Trauma is the story that we told ourselves about what happened. It's not what happened. Because we know people, I know people, you know people who have had the worst childhood. Grew up in poverty, had to cross 5 gang zones in order to go to school, single parent, lived in a car, under a bridge. They're the freaking editor of Harvard Law Review right now, right? And then somebody else whose parents were super wealthy, they had every advantage, went to private schools, and they are having a hard time. They're struggling. It's not what happened. It's not what happened. It's the story we tell ourselves about what happened. That is the trauma. So it could be something over I had a client whose core wounding was over a bowl of tomato soup. And his mother didn't, he made the soup. He was little. Remember making the soup? He was little. And he heated the pot up too fast. And thank you, brother Jason. He heats the pot up too fast and the tomato soup goes splashing everywhere. He was home alone. His mom comes home and she sees the mess. She doesn't beat the crap out of him because he, made a mess in the kitchen. She goes, "Oh, honey, let me show you. Let me show you how to do this, how to cook the soup." But for him, he was so embarrassed. He did something wrong. And as a child, he encoded that experience as a core wounding, as I'm wrong. I just can't do anything right. Right? As an adult, he knows that's not the truth. As an adult, he knows the truth that he's perfectly capable. He knows that all consciously, but there was this deep unconscious pattern that we had to discover together of embarrassment and not doing it right. I'm wrong. I'm doing it wrong. And that was the shame that he pushed down. Who he projected out was the guy who did everything right. He had to be perfect, right? Very successful physician, all of this stuff, right? All of the ways that he had to be successful in order to disprove this fundamental rock bottom belief that he's embarrassing and he's not wrong. He's embarrassing and he's wrong and he's not doing it right. That fundamental belief drove him to great heights. But at 60, he's still sad. So this is where we get to see the beauty of everything that's happened to us. It drives us to great heights, but fundamentally underneath is this neediness, this clinginess, this wanting, this needing, this I'm not enoughness, and people feel that. All we must do is acknowledge the not enoughness, because who we are, what that drove us to, a lot of times is really amazing. Really good, successful, amazing person. But there's still this thing underneath that's clingy, this thing underneath that's I'm not enough, I need more, I need more, I need more. So we give thanks for every experience, for every trauma, for every core wounding, because all we have to do is unify with the shadow. All we have to do is acknowledge that which we have been trying to cut out for so long. All we have to do is end our own inner civil war. End our own inner civil war. That fighting that we have, dropping bombs on ourselves, laying landmines for all the shitty things, all the things that you're not, all the things that I'm not, all the ways I've messed up, all the ways I've embarrassed myself, all the ways I haven't been who I think I should be. All that story isn't true, right? So, I don't need to. I just need to acknowledge that. I just need to acknowledge it. It just needs that part of me that feels not enough, lacking, didn't fit in, doesn't belong, not, isn't good enough, isn't smart enough, isn't talented enough, all of that stuff. It just wants more love. It just wants a little more love, not less. It needs more love, not less. So we're not going to cut it out. We're not going to stamp it down. Go away. I shouldn't be feeling that way. We're going to, how do we love it? We're going to accept it. We're going to accept it. We're going to say, oh, there's that part of me that feels unlovable. There's that part of me that feels not enough. There's that part of me that doesn't want to. Okay, there's that part. There's my, I don't want a Buddha. I say put a Buddha on it, right? Put a Buddha on it. There's that part. There's the unworthy Buddha. If I ate too much for lunch and I have indigestion, there's Buddha with heartburn. If I walk out the door right now and fall flat on my face, there's Buddha that fell flat on his face. There's not one part of me that isn't a Buddha. There's not one part of me that isn't worthy of love, acceptance, joy. There's not one part of you that isn't worthy of all that. So what do? We put a Buddha on it. By putting a Buddha on it, we go, oh, there's that part of me that needs more love. I'm going to put my awareness on it. The key to acceptance is awareness. We bring our awareness to it. All we got to do is how do we unwind those habitual patterns? How do we unwind those stones that are in the flow of life, the flow of experience that are hitting the stones of our samskara and causing us pain? How do we unwind those patterns? Awareness, acceptance, forgiveness. This is our work. Putting our awareness on it. Bringing our awareness to it. Putting a Buddha on it helps us become aware. That's the little fun thing about Buddha. Just put a Buddha on it. And then putting my awareness on it. And then through acceptance, through forgiveness, and through unlearning all of the ways we learned how to be in order to, that we think we need to do to survive. We unlearn all of that. The unlearning, learning, forgiveness, acceptance, surrender. Those are the first steps to unwinding this habitual pattern. All right. I'm so grateful. Man, I'm so grateful to see you all. Jason, Reverend Julie was amazing. Changiz, Jake, excuse me, Soul Releaser, Milor, great. Oh my goodness. Just great to see you all. And you know what? Over here on the Facebook world, I have not had my chat up. Sherry, I love you. Jason, great to see you. Rebecca, Ahmed, Shahera, great to see you. Rebecca, beautiful. Thank you. Maureen, Rick, what's up? Amanda. Wow, you guys, I'm so sorry I didn't see this chat over here on the other side. I apologize. I'm loving you all. So grateful for you all. Sending you so much love. Let's just know this. Let's just know this truth right now, that each one of us right here, right now, stepping into such gratitude for this technology that connects us, stepping into such gratitude for all the teachings, for the high consciousness of this group of people, this amazing group of people that have joined together in the middle of the day to listen to some stuff. Thank you. Thank you for listening to Walking the Path. I'm so grateful for your high consciousness, for all that you bring, all that you share. Thank you, each one, and knowing that we are one in the source of all of life, one in love, one in joy, one in beauty, one in intelligence, one. Through this oneness, knowing that we're inseparable from the good, I know that each one steps forth today with a divine birthright and confidence and nobility and regal nature in our steps, knowing that we are the sons and daughters of the Most High, emanations of the divine, each one, and that it's our birthright, our derecho de nacimiento, to experience abundance, prosperity, love, health, joy, harmony, beauty, excellence, creativity, amazingness, awesomeness of all sorts. Each one. So I'm knowing this truth. I'm so grateful to speak this word. I'm so grateful to see each one and myself as whole. Nothing wrong. Not one thing wrong. Everything working together for good. All needs met. How good it is. How good it is. How good it is. Thank you. 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 So it is. Amen. Aho. Hashe. Hayaya. Love you guys. Thank you. Peace and blessings.